I am really excited to be amongst some of the most amazing women that have been listed today in celebration of, and Paul, I haven't learned how to say this yet. Have you guys learned how to say this word yet? Sesquicentennial? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So we've each been given just about 3 to 5 minutes to say a few words, and I'm actually standing here quite honored, a little butterfly-y, and a little hungry. But mostly incredibly honored because I relocated here to North Lawndale 20 years ago, just about. And I made a leap of faith relocating from Denver, Colorado. Can you guys hear me okay? Is this close? Can you hear okay? Okay. To accept a position that this community had identified through support of the Staines Family Foundation. And they decided that there was a need for an organization called the North Lawndale Employment Network. And it's because they were determined to address the high unemployment in this community and to actually make sure that residents in this community would be prepared for the anticipation of gentrification. And so in order to address that issue, we needed to empower our residents with skills and tools that would help make them competitive in the market. And so I remember getting on a plane and I heard about the job opportunity and they said, would you like us to toss your name in the hat? And I said, well, sure. And really, I was quite happy where I was in Denver, working at a foundation there and working on issues of economic development. But I thought, hey, Chicago, I hear they have really good pizza. I hadn't been there for a while. And so I decided I would hop on a plane and come and listen and learn about this organization. So my interview was here at Sinai Community Institute, just across the street, 2653 West Ogden Boulevard. An address I will always hold dear in my memory. And I remember walking into one of the conference rooms, and in the room were 6 individuals. I had a 6-member interview, so think of that. And in this room, there is this beautiful African-American woman by the name of Deborah Wesley. She actually had another name, too, at the time. And I'll leave it at that. Greg Darniter with the Staines Family Foundation. Sam Flowers, who was with HICA. Val Jordan, who was with Breaking Ground. And I think it had a different name. It was APL. I think at the time. Gail Nelson, who was the executive director at the time with the with the Carol Robertson Center for Learning, and Ernie Jenkins with WACA. So those who know who some of those folks were. And I have the privilege of standing on their shoulders because after they accepted me as their executive director for this position, they carried me and transitioned and helped me understand this community of North Lawndale. And so I knew that I could not let those individuals down. And Deborah in particular was that person for me who held my hand, not just figuratively, but really throughout the 20 years that this organization has been in play. What you all don't know, some of you know, like Blanche and a few others, that I was actually thinking this job is really taking a lot out of me. I'm tired, but I was loving it until I realized that I had a little one baking. So 9 months into the job, actually less than that, right, Deborah? 5 months into the job, I delivered my daughter, Maya Barber, who was born here at Sinai Health System. So this is a community that I love. After 20 years, it's where I most identify. It's a community that I'm proud to work in, and I was asked to just give a couple of highlights about some of the accomplishments of the work, or essentially why I'm proud, most proud to contribute, what I'm most proud to contribute to North Lawndale. And so over that period of time, I'm proud that we've been able to establish a job training and placement program specializing in reentry services for men and women that are returning from incarceration. Unfortunately, North Lawndale is one of those communities that has been deeply impacted by mass incarceration, and that the folks here in this community really wanted jobs, but just because of the stigma associated with having a criminal record, caused this community to be demonized as a place that has high unemployment. And people would think it's because we don't want to work. And that is so far from the truth. So I'm pleased that we were able to establish a program called U-Turn Permitted. It was the first program that we created. I'm also really pleased that we've established the first urban apiary of its size here in North Lawndale. So we have a bee farm. We actually have 5. One we established at O'Hare Airport, which is the very first bee farm to partner with an apiary and airport, with an airport in the country. And we've actually had a few follow our lead. So now Seattle and Portland, Toronto also have bee farms at their airports because there's so much unused space sometimes, and so it's really positive utilization of space. And then I also love that we had the audacity and the naivety to think that we could produce honey in North Lawndale, that we could take to market, and that people would buy it. And as a result, create jobs for people who have had a brush with the law. So our honey is called Bee Love. It's distributed in all 44 Mariano stores. You can also purchase our honey at Hudson's, at a few Hudson stores at O'Hare and Midway, and a few other wonderful local places. But who would have thunk that we would help to disrupt and redefine local honey? It's not from Michigan, it's not from Wisconsin, it's from where? Hey, urban honey is the best honey. And so I just wanted to also close, because I want to try to model the time frame, even though I could spend a lot more time. I think that North Lawndale is special because it's one of the few communities that's bold and untethered enough to actually invite Dr. King to preach and live in this community when other people refused him in their neighborhoods, but not North Lawndale. This is a place where I think creativity and innovation is fostered and respected. I think that North Lawndale is a place where the Sears was originally headquartered here, giving us a rich history in this neighborhood, and a place where people could come and work and have memories, because I love to hear people talk about when Sears was here. There's some beautiful stories. But I also think it's a place where new programs and new relationships can actually get grounded and grow. So my wish, and this is the closing, I'm following my template. In closing, in this 150th year, my wish for North Lawndale is that it's no longer at the bottom of the list for all the social ills of poverty, but rather that we are at the top of the list and well known for all the sweet and good works and people that live here. Thank you. Happy 150th birthday, North Lawndale.